Good day and welcome to Inside the African Community. I'm Steve Badier and my guest today is Dr. Joseph Masika.
Thanks so much, Steve.
So Dr. Masika, you are well known in the community, we know you.
Yeah.
But I think there are some people there who, just in case might not know you, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, I don't know where to start, Steve, because it's a long history. In short, it's I've been in South Australia for the last 20 years.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah, I came up here, I've been in the community, and I would like to pick up some few areas where I contributed in African community. And looking back, 1998, there was no African community here. So the African community started building up, in fact, after coming up after 1998. And we have organization like the African Community Council of South Australia, which was born out of community growing up big. Yeah. And I remember we went for 2 days, one night at Milo Camp, where we made a decision to establish up the African Community Council of South Australia. Yeah. And I was delighted to be connected with the organization, because I was the first African festival director for the organization, and I'm the one who staged up the festival in South Australia, African festival in South Australia. And also when the organization started, I also, for some time, I was the treasurer for the organization. So it's really good to see organization as a grown up. And when I became the chair, we are getting some organization, we're getting funds here and there. Yeah. But when I became the chair, I moved the organization through strategic direction, opportunities by that time, and still today. And we are now offering so many programs, and by the time when I was the chair, we are getting at least $750,000, and I had 10 staff. Okay. And I established a African Community Center on the Prospect, who was here by then.
With the gym.
And everything. And it's unfortunate those things have collapsed again. And the other good thing which I've left behind, because I'm no longer the chair of African Community Council in South Australia, is I managed to convince the government, the community government, to establish services for older people in their homes, which we call it home and community care. So we have 15 people who are over 65 years of age. They are getting services including domestic assistance, shopping, medical transport, and social services. And it's a very good program, and it's going to provide services for the rest of these older people in the community. So what we need to do, the program has managed to provide the employment to the African people. I know there are about 15 carers who have done certificate 3, getting up or helping up the people. That is the legacy left behind, and which is really good. And the other things, I've negotiated with the Minister for Multicultural Affairs, Minister Honorable Zoe Betterson, MP, who is also Minister for Community and Social Inclusion, to be able to fund the African Festival. So from this year, the African Festival will receive $20,000 from the state government, and it's going to be for 3 years. So in 3 years' time, we'll receive $60,000. So remember, we're getting up 2,500, and now we've lived up to 20,000 in a year. So there will be some grants coming from somewhere. But that is the beauty thing, to turn around and say, okay, being a chair for 7 years, I left behind a very strong program for settlement, which we have 3 staffs, and also we have home and community care where we have staff. So it's really good to see those programs going on.
Yeah,
and that's it I can say for that.
Yeah, I think that you have a lot to see with the experience and all that. I think if you were to talk about everything, we're going to spend a whole night.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it. It's 20 years history.
But thank you. I think the point is sometimes we are not aware of some of these things, like with the home support care for the elderly. And how do you think we need to go about informing people? Because there are some people that just don't know, that just maybe are not connected enough to the community.
Yes, absolutely. We've said that some people who are over 65 years and frail aged. So what I'm asking that if we can reach up in our communities and announce and tell people that, look, the community government is here to support people to continue living in their homes as long as it takes, and the African Community Council has been funded. So what you do if you're a community leader or you're a member of the community and you know there's somebody who is over 65, struggling with shopping, struggling with the cleaning, struggling with the cooking, struggling with washing up clothes, ironing, cleaning up the house, or doing shopping, or going up to see the doctor, needs transport, you pick up the phone and you ring up the African Community Council. The number is 410-3905, and or ring me, because I'm still supervising that program to make sure that it doesn't fall behind. And we can send out people who will make assessment, and the client will be the person who needs services will be accepted on board and get up the services. We don't need to see people struggling and you keep quiet. If you know somebody is struggling, just let me know, or let the African community know, or let your community leader know, and we can be able to support this people.
Yeah, and they could also use this medium to get to you, because when they get in touch with us through Facebook or whatever means, we could get to you as soon as possible. But with that program, the key requirement or criteria is being over 65, right?
Yes. We be over 65 or plus, because the way the service has been organized, if you are under 65, it's state responsibility. And the state responsibility is local Africans who have been classified that we can get services for those who are under 65. It's only indigenous people, Aboriginal, who have been classified that they're aging prematurely, so they get the services before 65. For the Africans, we are still working with the minister, and we have presented the case, because our life has been distorted. You know, it's not like the normal child who has been born in Australia and they grow up in a normal life. Most of us have come up either we've spent so many years in refugee camp, we've spent so many hardship, life in somewhere. So when you come up now, you find out your age is higher compared to anyone who was born up here. So anyone, the criteria for getting the services, for the time being, you have to be 65, and you're struggling, you think that you need support. And we have people who are that age, and they can't go out and meet up other elders of their age in the community, but the program is there to support them. Because if they say, I want social services, they can be picked up by the carer, other elders, their friends, and socialize and bring them back home. And we have other activities like going up to the zoo, or they go to see dolphin, or they go meet up other older people from other communities and share lunch. So there are so many varieties of activities people that can enjoy, rather than sitting home behind the TV and being isolated. But this program is really good to bring them out.
Yeah. So that's a long experience, and thank you for the program with the African Communities Council of South Australia, 7 years as the chairman. What are some of the things you enjoy the most about Africans? That.
The most I enjoyed when I was the chair of since when I became, because I'm the longest member of the council who were there since we went to Milo Camp in 1998 to discuss that we need the African body. And they came back to be on there and support to develop the organization and make sure that the organization is strong, and bring up the community together for common purpose and supporting each other. So what I enjoyed most is the African Festival, because that is still putting us on the map to say, look, we are here, and we are here, this is our home, and this is our culture, this is how we are, this is our language, this is our religions, this is our foods and everything. So that's really good, because I look back when I came up here, those years, there was nothing. And now looking back, now the people, they ask, when is the African Festival? Where are the African shops? Where are the African restaurants? So they want to go there and enjoy it, which is a good thing. And the other things which coming up here is to see how people they've managed to transition from life in refugee camp. They come up here, they got opportunities, and see so many young people going to uni, taking up education, and trying to grab opportunity which is offered by the Australian as a country, or Australian people, or Australian community, which is really good, because some of things which people they are going through now, they are benefiting now, but they would benefit them if we were still in refugee camp. So that makes me very proud of the community. But while I'm proud, there are things which is making me very sad. And we found out when the people came up here, they were united, talking one language, but with the time, we can see divisions coming in. And we have seen some groups that have reverted back into discriminating other people from there. They say, you are not coming from my country, you are coming from another country. And we see some groups breaking up into many. And the fact is, in government arena, that the more united, the more you stand and the chances of getting opportunities. But the more you divided, you become thin and you become insignificant in front of politicians or in front of them. Let HASA deal with the social. Bring African out, bring them for social and the other activities, maintain languages and other, social support around that, cultural issues there. And I said, let ACC deal with the political stuff and the advocacy. And because they have that big, they can have that big role, and the way it is done, all Africans, they came together. But there are some other organizations, in particular like ACCSA, they say, look, no, we are here, we are going to be on our own. So they stay there on their own. But which is, if we become one, it's okay, but if we say no, it's part of democracy. But I believe bring up into all these small groups into big one, it will give up another angle of engaging with the politicians and engaging up with the government to get up the benefits of the day.
Just as the leader of the African Communities Council of Australia, which
Federation,
the mother organization of Africans in Australia. What are some of the things you do? What do you wish to achieve, and which direction do you wish to take Africans as a leader?
With this peak body, one task which I will promise my colleagues, and we are working very hard, one is to provide the advocacy to the community government. Because we believe at the state level, the African Community Councils in the states, they are doing that one there, and we'll support them to be able to do their jobs. But we want at the national level to be engaged with the community government, and for them to say, look, we are here. You know how many Africans are here? We are almost 3,250,000. But the problem which we are facing, this number you can't hear it, is because we have 680 ethnic associations. So each one wants to go alone, and eventually our voice disappears. And that's why we said, look, we needed to represent this community in a very, with the bigger voice, and be speaking with a united voice, and also be able to articulate the issues affecting the community, and what resources the community needs so that it can progress and move, move forward like any other community. So one task which I had is to make sure that the communities, they speak up with one voice and they become united. I don't say they shouldn't break, they can break, but they understand there's a big body which is not competing with anyone, so they can support up the big body to be able to be represented, that advocacy can come to.
So at the moment we have 680 associations across the nation. Australia. Okay. With looking at Africans as a whole, what sort of trend, as a leader, what sort of trend do you observe in terms of employment, in terms of education? Where do you think we are heading?
Now, one thing is, I'll start with the education. Education, it has been, we've shown up a very big progress in terms of education. The young people have taken up the challenge very well. They've gone to school, and there are many enrolled at the tertiary level. And if you look up the trend which you have shown in the African community, is very big compared to the trend which shown with the older communities. So we look up how many people graduating in African community each year from tertiary level. It's significant, and that is a very good credit. And I congratulate everyone who has taken up that education serious, and they find a pathway in tertiary education. But one thing which we are facing with the young people, when they finish university, much of them, they don't get the opportunity to get into their professions. And that is really discouraging for those who want to work very hard to go to pursue higher education. But I said that has come to our attention, and we'll put it attention to the government. Is aware that if you look up the job statistics for the young people across the nation, and you look up for the Africans with future match, more into the unemployment, we have a higher rate compared to the other one. You look up national unemployment rate for the youth is 11%, but for African can be around 14%, which is a very high. And we look up the age of 16 to 24 who are out of employment and they are trying to get employment is very high. And it's an issue of concern. Because when we have these young people, energetic, very dynamic, they're not in employment, it's very worrying, and it's gives a lot of challenge, not only to the community leaders or community organization, but also to the government.